just an old empty bottle. It's staring back at me. We used to be such good old friends to that day back.
Right, good morning, welcome back and into day 4 of this Harley Davidson winter makeover. Now, in the last one I showed you these outlaw styly bar setup. I kind of like that, and both this and the Dragbar setup presented a modification that I had to make on these, because this is a 7/8 bar. It would have created making a sleeve, a steel tube that would have to go over the 7/8 bar to bring it out to 1 inch. That would then have to be secured on, easy enough to do, and then I can put the Harley Davidson 1 inch controls over the top on both sides. So that would be one task. On the other hand, this is a 28mm fat bar, 28mm. The Harley Davidson drag bar here is 1 inch, which is 25.5mm. So 28mm, 25mm, 3mm difference. Not a problem. Then we realised that the clamps here are 28mm, obviously to fit the 28mm bars. So with 28mm clamps that I want to use, I'm going to have to make some spacers, not dissimilar to the fact I've got to make spacers here if I'm going to go with these, but the spacers here to mount the drag bar will have to go inside the clamp to pack out the difference between 28 and 25, which is basically a piece of 1.5mm wall tubing that goes inside the clamp, over and under, so 2 half shells to pack that out. You can buy those, but not from 28mm down to 25mm. You can buy them from 1 inch to 1.25 inch Harley Davidson applications, but from this metric application to a 1 inch Harley Davidson application, I've got to get taking it from Imperial to metric, or vice versa. One way or the other, I've got to make it. I can't buy it anywhere, so rather than faff about, I'm going to get on with that today, make some spaces to mount the drag bar, because after some reflection and after your comments and opinions, I definitely feel that for this bike, for the style I want for this, much as I love the look of this outlaw styling, I far think it is better to go with the drag bar, a more traditional flat top look, than it is to go with these, certainly for this one. And I'll save these bars for another day. So there we are today, fitting the drag bar instead, and I'll make some spacers in order to do so. So another little bit of fun on the lathe. Let's get stuck in. Perfect. Right. Now they are exactly the same diameter as the bar, so they will fit exactly in those clamps. So the outside diameter is now taken care of. Now I've got to bore the middles out to exactly the diameter of that bar. Let's get on with it. Okay, here they are so far. Just tubes still got to slit them, and they are exactly 25.4mm internal diameter, which is 1 inch. So they're 1 inch internal diameter, but they're 28mm outside diameter. So they're actually metric converters. They will convert my metric Tech Bike Parts aluminium clamps to take 1 inch Imperial Harley-Davidson bars, and that's why I had to make them and couldn't buy them, because they're a unique combination of two different size scales, 1 inch inside, 28mm metric outside, and obviously that makes them quite thin. I could have got some tubing and machined some tubing, but I've tried machining tubing in the past and it's really soft, especially aluminium tubing, and I felt that it was a better way to do it. If you're trying to lean on that to machine it when it's as thin as that, you can just buckle it and so on, and it just distorts and goes out of shape. This way I felt was a safer way to do it. Cut them to length first, machine them down to diameter while they're still a block, and then confine the whole thing in the chuck, and that holds the outside nice and supported, and then bore it through so you get 1 inch internal with one big fat drill bit. So I think that's the right way to do it. Well, it worked, so it was. Now I guess there could have been a better way to do it, and the engineers will probably tell me, and machinists, and I'm always happy to listen, but for me that seemed the safest way to make those, to literally make them outside correct first and then bore them through. There we go, done. Now all I've got to do is slit them, and then I can put them on the bike and see if they actually work. Right, there we are, another fun day, day 4, and I think you'll agree, a far better look. A little bit more compact, and that's what I wanted for it. I think the lifted up slight bars, that's fine, but that's an ultra modern look, that's more the stunt diners, that sort of thing, not what I'm going for with this, because this has got the wider tank as well, big 5-gallon tank, so it looks much better with just a flat, minimal drag bar. Really happy with that now. And these spacers, they were absolutely loads of fun to make. They really were. Love that sort of thing. Manufacturing something for my bike that I need to my specifications, and there's nothing in the world like that because they are from Metric-to-Imperial conversion spacers. Absolutely superb. Now in the next one, I've routed all the cables and bits and pieces. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm not going to worry about the extra bit of wiring. I'm just going to tuck that down inside the frame later on. I'm not going to cut wiring. It's always better to tuck than it is to cut when it comes to wiring looms. Believe me, I've tried it. It's a pain I never want to experience again. As far as the cables are concerned, I might get some new throttle cables. They're not too expensive, but the clutch cable would have been. So in that case, I'm really chuffed because I've managed to reroute it the other side of the headlight and come in from the right, and that even means that it's a nicer angle. It's better looking than it was, and it's a little bit smoother because it's not doing a 90 degree when it gets up to here. So a real triumph. Happy to bits with that. All I need to do now is in the next one, day 5, I'm going to make a start on a little nose cone, which I'm going to make from the old Street Fighter tail steelwork. And that's recycling at its best because I'm not going to use it otherwise. I might as well chop it up and use it for something for this. And it is Harley Davidson tanks after all, so they'll be coming home. So there we are. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your incredible support. The hits on these videos are double what they were on the Street Fighter project. I can take a lot from that. I appreciate it. Welcome back to all the Harley viewers. It's great to have you back on board. Ride safe. We'll see you next time.
Just an old empty bottle. It's staring back at me. Used to be such good old friends till that day back in '63. Met my friend when I was young. I should know my daddy